can put the new grill on.
Hey guys, welcome to a subscriber update. Redneck Computer Geek here, along with all my homie chicks. That's right, you tell them. Say, I poop eggs. Anyways, it has been one heck of a winter. This winter, the winds up here in Maine have been some of the worst I have ever seen. Well, I was going to walk around and do a subscriber update, but apparently we needed more snow. We'll be back. Yeah, okay, let's try doing a subscriber update again, and it's now raining, and there's still ice out on the pond. We'll be back. Including all of that stuff that started out this winter underneath tarps. I mean, I literally had winter rip apart every single tarp thing that I had out here. This one survived pretty good. That one, not so much. We'll talk about that in a second. I've had a lot of people end up asking me about the transmission shed and what am I going to do once I get all those transmissions inside. Answer: gas tanks and exhaust and pulleys and things of that nature that the cold is not going to bother them. This doorway into this is deliberately facing north, and the reason being is so the sun can't get in there and bake and mess up plastics and all kinds of other stuff. So John's machine right there we had up and running the other day. It's got a little bit of a slip for some reason that we've got to get into. We've got a Murray there to monkey with, and I need to get that fired up. So I ended up with this really cool big booster pack from a company I like working with. I've worked with them in the past. They're the ones that have the air compressor built in. I'm debating doing a will it start spring video of seeing if we can start up every single machine behind me along with Van Hollen with that booster pack all in one day. Maybe make a whole run of it and see if we can start every single thing using that booster pack in one video. Something like that. I don't know. We're kind of winging it as we go this year, because I don't know how it is in your area, but prices be high. Holy cow. Everything on Marketplace, all the $50 dead doornail machines are $200 minimum. That being said, unless the prices start dropping back down to reasonable levels, I'm going to start working on a whole bunch of projects here. It's not as if I haven't accumulated a few. So we'll be working on projects around here, trying to get things caught up and then go from there. The snowblower rig, I knew something was wrong with that motor. It just was acting up. It was being stupid. I'm pretty sure that we blew out the head gasket in it. So maybe we'll take a look at that and do a Briggs & Stratton head gasket replacement video on that. John's rig is running good. I've got some upgrade parts for it that we will probably get into soon. I've got tons of rearranging to do. Over here, for those of you who follow me in the drag racing, we've got big shout out to my friend Mark and his dad Raymond. They have gone out of their way to hunt down tire options for the Sears and Diesel Eater. On hand right now, we have 5-bolt lug options for everything from a 20-inch tire all the way to a 27-inch tire. We've got 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 27 here on site now. We're totally prepped in order to swap out and mess with as many tire options as we can this drag season. I also ended up finding these at the dump, And they've got punch-out bearings in them. And they've got tubes already in them replaced. I have no... They all hold air. No idea. There's 4 of them right here. Look at that. All of them hold air. They were at the dump the other day, so I snagged them. If all I got to do is put $6 worth of bearings in them and I can throw them on the front of tractors and stuff, they're worth it. So we've got those. I'll probably end up actually putting a set of those on the front of the Sears racer that I'm building. And we've got a bunch of stuff to start digging out. We've got John's rig right there that I want to get back into playing with. See what we can do with that. The steering was the big issue with that last year. And so we shelved the project because it got too cold for us to work on right then. And we're going to... There is no way whatsoever. There's literally only there's literally only 3 people in the world that know what is under this tarp. And one of them is the kid that I bought it off of. So I don't know whether he watches this channel or not, but we're going to be getting that out from underneath the tarp soon. Post, comment. I dare you. There is not a single one of you that will manage to go and guess what is underneath that tarp. It's something that I stashed in order to be able to build a project with. And so with prices the way they are and the extra metal that we've got on hand right now, we should do some building. Oh, so speaking of prices the way they are, a lot of you have talked about John and his treehouse. And I posted up a video the other day talking about how the California engine ban has been affecting YouTubers like me. And when you're down like $15,000 worth of income in 2 years, it gets a little hard to be able to put extra money into something like this. But what I did realize the other day is that John, like most of us, is outgrowing his shop. Now, because John is outgrowing his shop, he obviously needs a bigger one. Now, wait a minute. We're going to do some YouTube magic here. I'll be right back. So, I think we should upgrade John's shop. This sits behind my house. It was originally put here in order to be able to shut up my ex and for her to be able to do gardening, which Jesse and I have both agreed that the gardening is not something we intend to be pursuing and dealing with, and therefore we have a garden shed that sits unused, has been for almost 3 years. And with the amount of money I have in this stupid thing, we really should probably use it for something. So I think we are going to take that and this summer, when things are dried up, put some rollers underneath it and bring it out through and park it so that John can use it. Basically, there is a giant rototiller that is stored in that shed that I need to keep safe. And there's no reason that can't get swapped out into what John is using for a shed now, somewhere else on the property. Now, I want to keep the rototiller, obviously. It's a really good rototiller and it's giant, and I can use it for working on drainage ditches and all kinds of other stuff around the property. But if the big giant shed is there and the only thing in it is one little tiller, John should get a chance to use it. I've had a lot of you ask about the car lift. The car lift is working fine, and I need to replace my bag on it. Let's see here. As you can see, and I will come out here and I will stand on it and hold that down and put it down the rest of the way later. One of the things about these 4-post lifts, if you ever want to go and get one for yourself, is that the down function on it takes like at least, I'm going to bet in the ballpark of 200, 250 pounds to make it actually go the speed it should. Otherwise, it just plain doesn't move. So we've got the transmission room that you guys saw in the Kohler video. Yes, I know that Kohler needs a lot of love. Now that we got it to prove that it'll actually run, that the crank isn't blown and everything else, I think we'll break it down, we'll hone it out, we'll put some actual piston rings in it, and we'll see if we can bring it back to life. Now, why did I not just buy some piston rings for it right off the bat? Which I'll start off the video when I do it with this information. But basically, that's an 18 horsepower Kohler, which means it uses a 77 millimeter piston ring. Now, the problem is, the moment you Google 77 millimeter piston ring, everybody goes, oh, well, those are cheap. It's the same exact size that's in a Volkswagen. That's right, it is the same exact size in a bunch of different Volkswagen stuff. The problem is the width of them, or the thickness, or however you want to say it, is different and proprietary to basically just Kohler. Which is why it is, instead of being like 20 bucks for a set of 4 pistons worth, it's about $70 for a set of 2 pistons worth. And there's basically about only one company that cares to go and sell them through Amazon, which, as you guys know, I use in order to be able to have the affiliate link, so that when you guys buy stuff through my Amazon link, I at least get a kickback of about 3 to 5%. By the way, that's how that thing works. So, Alba Patio. Yeah, look at that. That's nice. We got a hole through one side. The side walls are totally janked up and unusable almost for next year. And let's top it off with Alba Patio basically discontinued this model this spring. These don't exist as far as Alba Patio is concerned. You click on any link that has to do with these, it reroutes you to the 10-foot wide model. And Shelter Logic makes the exact same size, model, pitch, length, everything perfectly, exactly the same as the Alba Patio model. Guess who refuses to sell a replacement cover to anybody and pretends that their model doesn't exist through Home Depot? Oh yeah, that's right, Shelter Logic. So I don't know what to do. I haven't quite decided. The reason why I got this was because it was the only 12-foot wide with sidewalls removable canopy setup that I could get at the time. And supposedly I could replace the top, and now I can't. So, I don't know. We'll go from there, trying to figure it out later. Maybe Alba Patio will bring them back in the fall when they're more prevalent. I don't know. The truck still has some weird radiator thing going on. And also, I've got the 1.5-inch lifters for the back in order to be able to get this. Because right now, it sits level when you're driving the truck, which is all well and good, except for the moment you load up a tractor on here, the whole thing sinks about 2 inches, and the tractor wants to slide out the rear and is pulling against whatever straps you have on there. If I lift the rear end by 1.5 inches, then in that case, I don't have to worry about it unless I'm going up a really steep hill. We have the porch all nice and cleaned off, so we can actually be able to get to using the porch. We got all the high quality people stuff cleaned up. My entire basement is still high quality people stuff, unfortunately, and the porch is getting cleaned off. But hey, check this out. We got a sponsor for the idea of off-gridding the transmission shed, or the transmission shop / shed experiment / whatever you want to call it. So we've got solar panels. These things retail for about 260 bucks. They're through LI Power, and they gave us a 1,000-watt box that goes with it. And this thing is cool. We've been using it in order to power up the Greenworks saw that we got sent. And let me flip you guys around. Right there, there's the Greenworks saw, and we've been using this in order to charge it up. This thing is really cool. It claims it will supposedly run a 800-watt electric heater for about an hour and a half. So we might have to test that out this winter just for the giggles of it to see if it really will. Not that an 800 watt heater is going to make much of a difference in a house the size of mine, but you never know. So we've got their panel here that we've been testing out. We've been charging it up. We've dropped this thing down as low as 3 out of 5 bars. And on a decently sunny day like today, it was able to recharge it all the way in about 4.5 hours. So it's consistent. It definitely goes with what it says it will in its manual. We've been using the Greenworks here to go down there and clean out around my catfish pond. Tacking this into the subscriber update, so here's down and around the pond, and the pond's got catfish in it, and the best place to fish for them is over in this area here, but unfortunately this hasn't been maintained, so we're cutting it all out right now and getting down in here, and that's exactly what this little saw is awesome for. So we've been cutting down through. John's working on the trail over there. Making progress, aren't we, John? Yeah. Hi. Because the best place to fish is over there, and all of it was all grown in from me not being here to clean it up. All of this is going away. All of that is going away. All of that is going away. That is going away. This is going to get used in the Van Hollen build, and whatever is left over is going to go somewhere. We're getting things all cleaned up this year. So there we go. There's our subscriber update. It is springtime in Maine finally, kind of. It's supposed to be 22 degrees tonight. But it's currently about 58 degrees outside right now while I'm talking to you guys. Welcome to Maine in the spring. Have fun, guys. We'll see you on the next video. Can you see it in the center? It's his dog hanging out of the motor car.